Turning on the dance music at the DJC Collectibles Studio, I'm Midwest professional wrestling legend Gage Octane. And now, here's a guy who was truly born to boogie, Kyle Peterson.
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, back again with episode number 33 of the Kyle Peterson Show. And as usual, we got the very comfortable Angie. Angie, say hello.
Hello.
Angie looking extra comfy today. You look like you just had your hair up in like, what would it be? Like a handkerchief and you were like dusting around the house. You kind of got that vibe going on here today. And I got a little of that Christmas vibe going on. We'll get more into that in a second here.
Oh my
But
God.
Angie, how you doing?
I'm good.
You're looking good. You're looking
I'm
good.
always
You're
looking good.
looking better than me. I'm struggling over here. And I've almost lost my voice. My voice is going out. So Angie might have to pick up the pace on this one a little bit for me here. So
That's
we'll
trouble.
see. But
and
Angie,
it's weird filming. The kids are home.
oh, the kids are home. It's nighttime. It's nighttime. We're under the gun. And, the light is going off. Daylight savings time getting a hold of all of us this week. So it's been a weird week trying to get on a new schedule. And you look at the clock and it feels like it should be one time. I don't know, but we'll get into more of that here. But first off, it is episode number 33, Angie, my favorite number of all time of the Kyle Peterson Show here today. Number 33 is a special one. And Angie, do you have any special memories of the number 33?
Oh God.
No, she doesn't.
Why do you like 33? Is it a sports thing?
Yes, when I was a kid, and still to this day, number 33 was my favorite number. It was my number in Little League every year, and my favorite of all time, Jose Canseco, number 33. But a lot of other fancy athletes over the years. Larry Bird, you ever heard of him? Number 33. Patrick Ewing, you probably remember him from that episode of Webster once upon a time. How about Scottie Pippen? You know him?
Oh yeah, that's my favorite.
Osama bin Laden himself. He looks just like Osama. It's crazy how that one went down.
My basketball number was 23. Like Jordan.
Ooh, like a young Michael Jordan. Yes, of course. And one of these days, we're going to have Angie's basketball episode. We're going to have that whole talk.
21 for away games.
Oh, my. Oh, really? What?
And like switch. I don't know why.
Sharing jerseys
Different
again.
jerseys.
But Patrick Waugh, great goalie. Do you know what team he was on?
Oh God, no.
Oh, he was on the Avalanche back in the day and a few
Oh,
other
I would
teams.
never
But
guess
yeah, a good one. Scottie Pippen, we mentioned. Eddie Murray, ring a bell to you. Of course, Baltimore Oriole legend. So a lot of greats wore number 33. And now we're dancing in their presence a little bit here today with episode number 33. Can't believe it. Dangerously close to one full year of the Kyle Peterson Show each and every single Tuesday. But Angie, before we get too far into it, we got to thank the sponsor of the Kyle Peterson Show. It is DJC Collectibles. Use discount code 8OFFDJC to save 8% off your entire order. Got to get a deal right there. Angie.
You need some cure-all for that throat. So you're always trying to give me one.
No, I don't.
Anytime you hear me cough, you know what? I got something for that.
Well, if he's cute, maybe if he's cute enough, we'll see. But my cure-all works.
I don't think I produce enough to fix that.
No,
I don't think so.
no, I don't know. We'll find out. We'll give it the old college try, I guess, is what we're gonna do. Angie, getting after it already here today. But we got a few things to talk about. And Angie, we're actually filming this a day later than normal. So this episode going up for Patreon YouTube channel memberships a day later than normal.
Day late, dollar short.
Day late, dollar short. But you know what? The working world calls. And I was up in Minnesota. Beautiful this time of year. No snow on the ground up there yet. I was up in Minnesota. I had to go up there, do a presentation, spent the night, that whole rigmarole. I went to what was it called? OG Zaza was the pizza place. People have been telling me to go there forever. It wasn't too far from my hotel. I got to try that out. So you'll see that pizza review on the channel. Patreon members, of course. Maybe I'll throw it in my vlog. I did go to Mall of America. You've been there before. And I went to Toys R Us. So more on that in this very video here. But I was up in Minnesota, wowed everybody with my presentation. And then I drove on home. And I was extremely tired last night, Angie. Got two things to talk about on my return home. Now, I was very tired. For some reason, I could not sleep in my hotel. I was working on my presentation, all this stuff.
You never sleep good unless you're beside me.
Exactly right. Exactly. I need your warm body right beside me at all times. But I was up to like 1:30 was the last time I remember looking at the clock. So that wasn't good. And I was doing all this stuff and all that. And then I ended up getting up at 5:30. So Angie, do the math.
That's 4 hours.
That's 4 hours of sleep. So that was pretty rough. And then I had to go make some markets, make the town, whatever you want to call it. Then I had to go do my presentation, all that. And then I had to drive home for like 3.5 hours. So When I got home last night, I was pretty darn zapped, but we immediately took my car to the shop. We got that in there. We went and ate chili. Oh, chili.
Cinnamon rolls.
And cinnamon rolls at our local grocery store. They had a big $3 sale going on. Got to get a deal out there. And then we got some groceries. And then I came home and I kind of said, and I started relaxing and trying to edit some videos. You went to bed. What time did you turn in? Turn in. What time?
I don't know, 8:39.
8:30, I think it was. Probably even before that. Maybe
Probably.
8 o'clock, I think. Because we were both tired, and I was really tired last night. Usually I stay up till about midnight or so. I was fading fast. I have no idea what time I fell asleep. But I ended up waking up and then coming up about 10:15 is what it was, Angie, last night. And as usual, I pour myself a tall glass of chocolate milk, and I stare out into the fields behind us. And I say, first I look to the sky and I say, any aliens flying around? No, not tonight. Hopefully one of these nights I see them. Any shooting stars? No, none of those. And then I start looking into the field. We got any deer? We got any raccoons? We got any possum out there? Opossum? No, we didn't have any of that. And while I'm doing all this, I let the dogs outside to do their business before they go to bed, of course.
As one does.
As one would. But I'm out there for a while. I drink my cup. I see the dogs. I let them in. No, don't think anything of it. I'm tired. I'm groggy. Drink my chocolate milk. Turn all the lights off, as I always do, Angie. She says I don't turn the lights off, but I do.
He forgets.
I forget. Okay, I don't believe you, but play your hand, whatever you want. But I ended up going up to bed, and of course, Angie right up there, ready to go as usual. I go up there, and I don't think anything of it. Now I wear contacts, and I am totally blind without my contacts. So I took my contacts out, so I can't see anything. And I just assume that the dogs are all up there. And Angie, what happens when you assume?
Ass you me.
There you go. Say it louder for the people in the back.
Ass you me.
Okay, so that's what we had out of you and out of me. I assumed all the dogs were up there, and I immediately went to bed and slept. No issues sleeping. I was tired, as I said, so I was groggy. But then I woke up this morning to the sweet Angie. What did you do? You were just hanging over me.
Yes. I said, morning.
I said, where are your clothes? I think that's what I said. But then
Why do I have handcuffs on?
Yeah, what is going on? Why? What is this? And what did I end up doing last night?
Well, you want me to tell them my story? The whole story?
Okay, sure.
So at 5 a.m., I went down, and the dogs were just howling, like or barking crazy.
Okay.
And I thought there was a predator or someone breaking in.
Any kind of predator. Somebody
or
wanting
a
a piece?
deer, something in our yard. They
Yep.
were going absolutely wild. And I look at the door, and standing at the glass door was little Lemmy, locked outside the whole night.
Lemmy.
And he was just shaking his butt, but equally crying. He was like, and shaking his butt.
But he was shaking his butt in
And then
excitement.
I just picked him up and was holding him. He was so cold.
Oh,
Thank God it didn't get too cold overnight. It only got down to like high 40s.
I think some dogs
Because
heard
he
your
could have
name.
died. Oh my God.
They heard your name when you started
heard
howling
the-
and doing this.
You want to see?
No.
Oh gosh, my boobies are going to hang out.
Yeah, you're going to give everybody a show. Let's see
I
it.
didn't see
Everybody's
that.
okay.
I don't have bras.
Let's see it. She's got nothing, barely. But poor dog, old Lemmy, he's howling and crying and all that, and I let him outside all night. And these are not outdoor dogs. They are not. You should be, Ace. Get down. Sit down. You get out of our face here.
And he was all clean too. I had given him a bath.
Just
while
had a
you were
bath
gone.
last night. Oh my gosh. But yeah, poor Lemmy spent about 7 hours, we figured, outside and probably 40-some degree temperatures. Now, he's a dog after all. There's some dogs that sleep outside,
He's
but
got that thick fur too.
he's a pampered pet, though. He's my little boy, so I feel bad about it. I apologize to him, but he's been giving me the stink eye all day long. And
I think he's like hardened now. He's going to be like gangster.
hard criminal.
Yeah.
You know, I spent some time in Oz once upon a time, so him and I are on the same wavelength now.
How much
but
poop do you think he ate in that backyard?
Oh.
He probably cleaned it
he
up.
was so hungry, he cleaned up the whole backyard,
Well,
probably.
he was like having...
It couldn't have been
When you're
very
like
much.
anxious and you eat, you know? Like, he
Could-
was like nervous.
Couldn't have been very much because I cleaned all the poop up the other day out
thank
there.
God.
So I cleaned it all up. I went
Thank
through
God.
just like 3 days ago. So, but yeah, poor Lemmy spent the night out there.
Baby.
Can't believe it.
And
I
he's
can't believe
old.
it.
He's the oldest one too.
So I can't believe that. So I got to be more careful at night. Good thing it's not snowing or anything. He'd be in big trouble. But
Oh God. He
You
probably,
li-
if it would have been really cold, I think he would have barked like until we came.
I would have blamed the kids for sure. I would have said, "Oh, it was that Elle? She must have let him out." But ooh, hard times for Lemmy though.
Oh,
but
baby.
then Angie, I also came home yesterday and I couldn't believe it. I returned to a Christmas winter wonderland around here.
Mhm.
And what is the date? November 4th? Was that when you put it up? The 5th?
Well, you know, I always do it the first. of
She's
November.
all about it.
Christmas, or once Halloween's done, it's Christmas, baby. All of November's Christmas, except the last like 3 or 4 days of the month, and then it's Christmas round 2.
Christmas.
December.
Yeah. So I came home and the Christmas lights were on, and we got 2 Christmas trees up.
I haven't done the outside of the house because that's embarrassing.
Unfortunately, today would have been a good day because it was pretty good weather to do Christmas lights. You should have done it today, but
Except it was windy.
too windy. We don't need you falling off ladders, that's for sure. And I can't get on a ladder anymore. I'll fall off for sure. There's no doubt.
But I put up 2 trees.
She put up 2 Christmas trees. We got 2 trees. That means double the presents for me. I got 2 presents right behind me, right beside me, though. Those are the only presents I need. But Angie, I can't believe it's feeling like Christmas around here. It feels weird, though. There's no presents under the trees.
Well, the dogs might pee on them or something.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. They might think, what is this? I better mark my territory on.
We have enough empty boxes. I could do some faux.
You could do some of that. So a wild time. I come back from Minnesota, and little did I know it's Christmas. So I got my fancy Christmas shirt on here today. I'm ready to go. I said, I'm in the spirit here. And Angie, I don't know if you know this or not, but here in the next couple of weeks, it's going to be holiday sweater season. So I'm going to have to go through the vast collection.
That's a good idea.
So we got a lot of different holiday sweatshirts to wear. And
you
could wear some too if you wanted to.
Okay.
And Angie's promised to go topless for the first episode of the new year. So that's going to be interesting. Just pasties only, she said. That's going to be a wild episode. I don't know. It could be dangerous. Angie.
That's a lot to ask after all that holiday food.
It's true. It's true.
I don't think
you've always been a champ. Everything's open for you. So we know how it goes. But that's it for a lot of that stuff. Angie, there is a little obit we got to read here today. We had another friend die this week, and it's a deep cut. Not everybody's going to know this, but Angie, I'm going to say just keep splicing. And she says, I have no idea what that term is from. And you, whoa, she pulled it out, G.I. Joe. Keep splicing, of course, G.I. Joe. And it is Alpine, one of the all-timers of G.I. Joe. Well, Lee Weaver was the voice of Alpine, passed away this week. So another person from the childhood died. I wouldn't know Lee Weaver if I saw him ever, but I know Alpine. I know that voice, and I loved Alpine as a kid. Even got some stitches because of a guy named Alpine once upon a time. And did you know his character's name is Alpine?
Ah.
Makes sense. He's a mountain climber.
Yeah.
And he goes by Alpine. So Alpine. Yeah, it's a good one. And we had a classified figure of him not too long ago. But we'll never forget, of course, G.I. Joe the movie. You remember that? Kids like to talk about that because I loved it so much. And they'd never seen me so happy watching a movie in the theater before.
I thought you cried.
That was Transformers, but similar. But I'll never forget, of course, you remember Alpine. We remember Nemesis Enforcer. What, Sergeant Slaughter? Is that you over there? What's a Nemesis Enforcer? I'll fill you in later. That's a long-running joke on the channel. Check out the YouTube channel. Alpine was there with Bazooka and Gung Ho, and we almost lost those good men there because of one dastardly Duke. Yes, the terrible leader of G.I. Joe, not the true leader like Flint. He messed up. He put Falcon in charge, nepotism at its finest, and we almost lost Alpine all those years ago. Thankfully, Nemesis Enforcer didn't finish the job because the job was just finished this week. So, hard times. Rip Lee Weaver. He will be missed. But Angie, now it's time to go a little bit deeper. How do you feel? How do you feel about that? Deeper the better? Not with me, though. It's too much.
It's too much.
It's too much.
You only take a little.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much. But brought to you by Amped Apparel. You use code Kyle, save 20%. It's time for a deeper dive. All right, Angie, it's time for a deeper dive. And this week, we're going a little bit deeper as I was in 2 different one of these stores this week alone. And about a month ago, I was in a different one. What are we talking about, Angie? You know.
Toys R Us?
She knows. Toys R Us. You've been looking at my notes. You've been cheating. She's been cheating. You better not be cheating. Trouble over here. But you got some opportunities, though. There's a lot of people offering it up out there if you're interested.
A lot of good friends.
A lot of good friends, better enemies. There you go. But we're diving into the deeper dive, and we're going to Toys R Us. Now, I don't need to give you guys and bore everybody with the history of Toys R Us, but we do know they closed many years ago. It's been a difficult time for a lot of us 80s kids and maybe beyond that. And Angie, you don't really have any memories of Toys R Us from a childhood.
No.
She lived out in the country. They had maybe a Shopko at a Pomida, and that was about it. The old 5 and dime on the corner, maybe. Something like that. At Ben Franklin's, there was one of those?
Not in our town, but
no, the town over.
Yeah.
So you didn't get to live that Toys R Us life like I did. And let me tell you, it was quite the life. It was the high life, really, is what it was. My dad and I, every Friday, going to Toys R Us. we'd get there about 5:30 because that's when their truck would get there about 4 o'clock, and we do our damage each week. But a lot of good times at Toys R Us as a kid, and hopefully a lot of good times now, as we were very fortunate, Angie, for a Toys R Us to open about 10 minutes from our house at the local mall. Angie, you have not been there yet.
Mm-mm.
No, so you'll have to check it out, but I don't know if there's really anything too interesting there for you. But I was at the Mall of America. I talked about my Minnesota trip this week. I was up there at Toys R Us, and that was quite the time. That's a little bit bigger one than the one we have here, but they're pretty close. But it's not quite the Toys R Us of old. And I think anybody that's been there really understands that. First off, it's not a standalone store. It's inside of a mall. It's inside of an outlet mall, whatever it may be. So you're kind of stuck to that. But putting on my business hat, that's probably better, because as much as I want to believe people are buying toys, and they are, but not like they used to. Let's be honest. And they couldn't support a huge store. Now, maybe they could get a Ross size store or a TJ Maxx, but I think they're hoping for mall traffic. They're hoping for that little Jimmy, that little Timmy walking by. Mom, can I get something? Can I get something? And hoping they'll close the deal that way. Now, these Toys R Us's are affiliated with the OK Calendar and Games. You've been in those before, so you kind of know what you're getting yourself into. Those ones have toy stores as well, but this is a little bit bigger, a little bit better than those. But it isn't quite the same magic. I'm happy it's here today, that there's still a Toys R Us, but it's not the Toys R Us of old. And one thing a lot of people do, Angie, I'm going to just turn to you right here. A lot of people romanticize Toys R Us, kind of like I'm doing a little bit, but you got to take a little step back there. If you're really honest with yourself, Toys R Us, it's not like they had new stuff every time you were there. There was many times you would go there for months and nothing would change. It would be the same stuff. I guarantee you if Toys R Us was open right now, Lando would be everywhere. He'd be everywhere. We'd be swimming in a sea of Landos. That's not a bad thing, but I guarantee he'd be there. But people say, oh, I had all this stuff. And yes, they would get new stuff. Yes, they had exclusive stuff. But there was a lot of times it was the same old week after week after week. And here's another thing. People everybody wants to get a deal out there. One wise guy once told me, got to get a deal. Oh, it was myself. But Toys R Us was very expensive. They were way more expensive than the Walmarts, the Targets, the Ventures, the Kmarts, and so on and so on. Toys R Us was more expensive. You had to pay $1 or $2 more for your X-Men figures, whatever it may be. So a lot of people are like, well, this new Toys R Us is so expensive. Well, they've always been the most expensive. Now, with inflation, everything else, maybe it's taking it to another level. That's for somebody else to argue that. But it is an expensive store. It was always an expensive store. And it always was not all rainbows all the time over there. So that's one thing people need to remember with Toys R Us. But it is a good sign we're getting more and more of them. Now, I say all this and I say, hey, support these. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be the first to say it. They're Ultimate Editions, WWE. They're $50 there at the mall. You can go to Walmart, get them for $33, $35. Are you really? Do you like them enough to spend an extra $15? It goes back to the age-old thing I talk about all the time. Angie, stop me if you've heard this before. But working in the grocery industry, there's always consumer studies on things. And hey, would you like to give your kid the best type of bread out there? And all this, with all this healthy vitamins and taste good and everything. What do you think every consumer says? Oh, yes, I would love to do that. I would love to do that. But then when that loaf of bread is $6.99 and you can get just a regular white bread for $1.99, do you think your mom loves you that much? Does she? Most of the time, unfortunately, she does not. They say and they tell you what you want to hear. There's people all over Facebook groups and stuff say, oh, I want Toys R Us and I want this and this and this. But they're the first person not to support it. They're saying all day long they will, but they won't. And that's where we are with Toys R Us. So we got to enjoy what we have, knowing it's not the same experience, but it is better than nothing. I said it in my video, and you'll see this. Speaking of the Mall of America version and the Des Moines, Iowa version, I did do 2 separate vlogs there. So you'll be able to check those out on my YouTube channel. The brand new one where we live kind of outside of Des Moines, that one is up on Patreon. It's up on YouTube right now. The other one will be up on Patreon soon. But you'll get a walkthrough of 2 different Toys R Us's. And you can go back to the one in Chicago from not too long ago. But to me, it's nice. We go to the mall a lot, Angie. We go there a lot. We go to all these different stores. Well, guess what? I have a GameStop I can take 2 minutes to walk through. Now I have a Toys R Us I can spend 3 minutes to walk through while you're going, getting some fancy bath bombs. And what else do you get there at the mall?
The kids really just shop there now.
Yeah, what
Barnes & Noble, Hollister.
Okay. What are your stores? Give us your heavy hitters.
We might go into like Victoria's Secret or Pink or something.
Oh, yeah. Sink the Pink.
I don't know.
Abercrombie.
Abercrombie.
American Eagle.
American Eagle.
You do occasionally like to go to that food court.
Every time.
Every time. And usually get Panera or Chick-fil-A. You're really adventurous in that food court. Where myself personally, what do I get?
Charlie's.
I'll get a Charlie's steak every once in a while. And then the other one?
You used to get Zombie Burger, but that closed.
That closed.
What is the other one you get? The
Chinese.
The Chinese.
I get the
I get the
Chinese.
Yeah,
occasionally.
But I get the fancy Chinese.
Yeah, I don't. I go
chicken
for the
teriyaki where they make it.
I don't get
fresh.
the fancy one. I'm not fancy. I'm trying to save a couple of bucks. I'm trying to afford this Toys R Us store, but there is a lot of fun. I do feel that like if you have a Toys R Us in your area, you should at least walk through it one time. It might disappoint you, and I could see somebody saying, "Leave the memories alone," maybe, but it is fun to see. And I would say if you're a girl or a small kid, you might enjoy the Toys R Us more than the average collector that would watch these channels, this YouTube channel and stuff, because there's a lot of stuffed animals. There's a lot of board games. There's a lot of interactive play stuff, and there's still a home for that with little kids. So long story short, Toys R Us is back, at least in our neck of the woods, for the holiday season. It's fun to have options. It's fun to have something to do. And Angie, that is a little bit of a deeper dive. You got anything to add to that?
My favorite part of the big old Toys R Us was like the Power Wheels and the bikes.
Because you would ride them.
Going through, and then the kids could like test them out and ride them around.
And that's the thing, too. You think of the Toys R Us's. Now, imagine your old Toys R Us back in the day. You maybe had a Babies R Us inside of there. You had a bicycle section. You had sporting goods sections. You had the Power Wheels section. You had a huge video game section. Well, the new Toys R Us doesn't have any of that. So you take all that out, knocks down the footprint, and that's kind of what we're at. But Angie, do you remember the first time ever going to Toys R Us? No, you don't. I remember.
It was probably with you.
Probably. Okay, you were like 21. I don't
even have recollection of toys from being little.
Yeah.
Except like Barbies and stuff.
You just played with yourself. Some things
never outside.
change. Some things never change. No, but Angie, I'll never forget the first time going to Toys R Us for me. I was 6 years old. There used to be a thing called Children's Palace in my neck of the woods. And I love Children's Palace. A lot of great memories there once upon a time. But unfortunately, they closed down because Toys R Us opened up across the street in my neck of the woods. So I was very torn as a small child. Children's Palace over here, Toys R Us here. I said, I'm hardcore. I'll take them both. And that's what I did. I went there and I went to both. But unfortunately, Children's Palace said, hey, we can't compete with this Toys R Us. We're getting out of Dodge. And I missed the Children's Palace. Now it's that Fresh Time Market. Exciting.
Oh, okay.
That's where it was. Yep. And now that you remember where the Toys R Us store was, it's a bin store now. Where you been? We haven't been there.
I went to the Babies R Us a lot.
Oh,
I think we registered there.
When you were having babies, I'll never forget. I'll never forget. That's a good story for the podcast one time. You'll never forget that time.
Babies having babies.
Yeah, kind of. You were like 25. But Angie, we'll never forget the time when Elle was born. We'll tell that fabulous story maybe around her birthday. You'll never forget the smell. Oh, you want to kill me? She wanted to strangle me from the bed, but I wouldn't let her. But we'll save that. We'll save that for February. That'd be a good February video. So we'll see.
God.
But Angie, there it is. A little bit of deeper dive, a little bit of Toys R Us. But now, Angie, we got to segue to your segment where Angie shines. It's time to try new foods because they might taste good.
We can try a little bit of this and a little bit of that. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. We gotta try new food because they might taste good.
All right, it's time for Angie to shine. It's time to try new foods because they might taste good. Angie, what do you got for us this week?
Chips Ahoy. Cookie butter inspired.
And are these holiday, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. It's the cookie butter must be like licensed for them to say inspired like that. The name must be like
It's got the
licensed.
winter packaging. So we're fitting the Christmas mood here in November. I got my Christmas shirt, Western shirt on, and then Angie's getting the Christmas stuff here. We got the Christmas trees up. Christmas in November. But Angie, we got Chips Ahoy. I know Chips Ahoy all too well. Now, we've had cookies like this before that have been filled in the inside, and everybody loves a cookie full of cream, as
Have
we
we ever
know.
had a white chip, though?
Ooh, no, I don't know. I didn't realize that. 140 calories, 2 cookies. So 2 cookies, 140 calories. Expire in March. Hitting store shelves right now if they are your thing. I don't know what cookie butter is exactly, but you buy cookie butter sometimes, don't you?
It's made with Biscoff?
Is it made with love?
Is it Biscoff cookies?
I don't know.
And then it's like made into a butter.
It looks like peanut butter to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're going to try it. It almost looks like a peanut butter cookie. Terrible formation on this cookie here. It's got jagged pieces. Looks like a mess.
This one's busted.
It smells very holiday-like, though. It's got that holiday smell. It smells pretty good. It smells like a candle.
Cheers.
You ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to open it. Oh, man.
Crumbs.
Okay.
I just wish these were softer.
They're supposed to be... I wonder how they'd be in the microwave for like 5 seconds. I gotta say, these are better than I anticipated.
What do they remind you of?
They got a very holiday taste. And what is a holiday taste?
Cinnamon. But it's giving me a very distinct...
I want to say it tastes like peanut butter, but it's not peanut butter. It's cookie butter. I gotta say, I am not a huge Chips Ahoy guy. Even when I worked for the company, I just didn't... I don't know. There's something about it I didn't like. They always had a chemically metal taste to me. These do not taste that way at all. These taste really, really good. I'm actually really surprised how much I like this thing.
It's driving me nuts because it's giving me like a flashback of something, and I can't pinpoint it.
Christmas at Grandma's house, what it tastes like.
Good.
These are really good. I would have guessed for me these would have been a 1 out of 5, just without trying them.
Look at the chips add a little.
I didn't really taste the chips in it.
Well, you feel them chewing them.
It's weird. I didn't taste a lot of that, but that middle section with the, I guess, cookie butter. But I've had cookie butter. You brought it home before.
Yeah.
And I didn't really like it. It didn't do anything for me where you could sit there and eat a jar of it.
I'd always put it on apples.
I don't know. It's a weird thing. Don't you get it like Trader Joe's or something? Get out of here. Get out of here, Trader Joe. Aldi Senior or Aldi Junior. But I will say these are worth a try. So Angie, what are you going to rate these out of 5?
Give them 4.
I'm giving it a strong 4 as well.
Good.
Very good. I am shocked because usually you think mass-produced cookie doesn't have that love, but man, this smells like and tastes like love is what it tastes like to me. If I could define it, it would taste like these cookie butter Chips Ahoy. So gotta say, a good pickup here, and I don't usually repeat buy on a lot of this stuff, but I will say we need to get some more of these before they're on their way out. So your supply may vary, your stores may vary. They usually run out of these things sometime unless they don't sell well, obviously. So get them while you can, but man, oh man, the cookie butter, one to be tried, and 2 strong 4s over here. Can you believe that? So shout out to the Mondelez Corporation. They got a winner right here. But Angie, that's it. Any last comments on cookie butter?
No, it's still bothering me. I can't think what it tastes like.
Well, you got time. If you think of it later on in the episode, you can bring it up.
I have to eat another one.
No, maybe. There you go. All right, Angie, it's time to move from tasting some Chips Ahoy to story time with Kyle. All right, Angie, it's time for your favorite portion of the show here. Oh, she's leaning back already. Take your pants off. Stay a while if you want, but we're going to dive into it. It's time for story time with Kyle, if my voice holds here.
Ugh.
But this is something I noticed when I was up in Minneapolis. Beautiful this time of year. Is it? Is it? And most of the time it's pretty good up there. It's pretty good down here as well. But one thing I'm noticing more and more, and we've noticed it more and more in our area too, is people on street corners holding signs all the time. You ever seen this before? Yeah, once or twice?
Yeah.
Yeah, every day.
I like it when they're dancing.
Well, I was going to get to that. Angie's getting there right away. So you see people on the corner with signs all the time. And there's this one guy, and he's always at the same spot, and he is cutting a rug on that street corner all the time. He's got his big boom box out there. He's got a bucket for tips. And I think it has his like social media and stuff on it there. But he's always dancing on the side of the road, you know, doing all this stuff. And it's dangerous. He's in between in that like median thing.
Yeah.
Just one slip on a little breakdance move, and bam, you can get hit by a car. But he's out there trying to get money. I kind of applaud that guy because he's hustling out there. He's like, hey, support my art and stuff. And he's bringing the show to people at the stoplight. So I don't hate that one too much. And the other one you see all the time is people at car washes. We saw a bunch of them for some mattress place, and they're flipping signs around and trying to get you there. You see it come tax season. You got those kind. I don't fault those there. That's a business trying to get some sales and stuff. So that makes a lot of sense. And I actually saw a guy with the turkey hat on the other day at the car wash. And I was like, oh, that's what my daughter Emma wore for Halloween, that turkey hat. But you see that a lot of time as well. But the majority of them you see, hey, I'm homeless, I need help, whatever it may be. You know, think of any sign you've seen a million times. One thing, though, that really grinds my gears, and I think I'm going to start carrying big pieces of cardboard in my trunk. Lord knows I got enough cardboard around here. But you see those people holding up a sign that looks like, an index card and thinking people can read it from the street. It's like, I can't even read what their sign says.
And they write too much.
Or they write too much. And I like it when they write really long. It's a big piece. Then they flip it over and then you try to read the back too. It's a wild scene. But you see a lot of that here, and they cracked down on some of it. Down the road from us, there was a time where there was somebody on every single corner. There was 4 corners, and there was a different person there every single day. And it's just wild to me. You see a lot of guys say I'm a veteran, a homeless veteran and stuff. And I know there's a lot of places these people could go if they want to. I don't know why you would want to do that. And I'm always saying, hey, I want to give these guys a job. And I've had guys come up to me when I'm like pumping gas at a gas station. Hey, could I, I don't have a job. And my usually retort is, do you need a job? I got a job for you. You want to come work? And what do they usually say? No, I don't want a job. But man, I got a good job, and you don't even have to have a GED anymore. And I can get you within a couple of years about $100,000 a year. You just got to be able to have Wednesday and Sundays as your off day. But nobody ever takes me up on that. I always have the cards ready to go and everything, but nobody ever takes me up on that one there. But there's a lot of people that do that. And I don't know about you, Angie. I remember as a kid, people would always tell you, don't give money to those people. They're scamming. They drive Lamborghinis and they live in mansions, and that's how they get paid. It's kind of like reminds me of, around Halloween, you better check the food. People are putting their drugs in candy. Like, I've never bought drugs in my life, but I'm guessing drugs aren't the cheapest thing.
Yeah.
And
giving away drugs for free.
Who's putting their drugs for free for some kid that they're not even going to see the outcome from? I don't know if that ever really happened. Now, needles was more of a threat to me as a little kid in my candy. I thought, people put needles in the candy. That seemed like more of a threat than drugs. That was just me, though. I don't know.
Oh, none of this was happening in my small town.
None of it. You were having church bazaars and all kinds of stuff. All kinds of potlucks.
Drunk or treats.
Halloween potluck. Oh, I'm sure it was all going down. Everybody bring a dessert.
Fellowship at the church.
Oh, fellowship. Love a little fellowship. I'll show you some fellowship later. If you play your cards right, Angie, you don't got to play them very well. But all these signs all the time. And I always enjoy reading some of these. But man, some of these people, you feel bad for them. They're down on their luck. And a lot of times they don't want help. They say, there's mental illness. So I get all that kind of stuff too. But you see people in tents underneath the bridges and stuff. It's like, man, there's so many shelters. There's a lot of places they could go. I don't know. I think if I was down on my luck, maybe I'd be the same way, though. I'd be like, I'm too proud to go to a shelter. I'm going to camp up in this woods with my dog, Lemmy. He's an outside dog now. Maybe that's what I would do. I don't know.
I wonder how I'd do out there.
Yeah, you wouldn't be homeless for long. Trust me.
I ran up my Target credit card to help me.
Yeah. No, you'd have people paying you left and right, I'm sure. But it's wild, some of these signs there. But I'll never forget one time. This is 5 years ago, maybe. I had to go down to Kansas City. Also beautiful this time of year. Mm-hmm. You're long due for some Kansas City barbecue, Angie. Let me tell you. And you guys ever been to a place called Shrouds in Kansas City? It's like inside of a house. It's like an old mansion. Mm-hmm. You've been there. Mm-hmm. But they got chicken liver. So if you're after chicken liver, that's the place to go, let me tell you. Mm-hmm. But huge portions. Worth a check if you're in the Kansas City area. Mm-hmm. But I'll never forget, my buddy Mike and I, we were down there for work. And they needed people to run the routes down there. It was like they basically fired everybody and said, hey, we're firing the whole team. We're starting over. We need some help running these routes for a little bit of time. Mm-hmm, so that's what we did. So we said, hey, we'll come down there. We'll help out. That was a wild day for me as, these hands can't be working. These aren't working man's hands. They were once upon a time, but not.
Yeah, I got the man hands right now. They're all sandpaper.
She's going to manhandle me, but.
It's going to be a rough winter.
I spent many years on routes. I spent many years in the grind, slaving to the grind like a young Sebastian Bach once upon a time. I spent many years doing that. I worked my way out of that so I don't have to. And my body can't take it anymore. I've destroyed for years of my knees, backs, and hips. I didn't listen to those old guys, but I did my tour of duty. But they wanted us to help out. I said, okay, I'll go for it. I'll never forget, it was like 140 degrees that day. And I'll never forget, I was at a Save-A-Lot store and gunshot fire ringing out in the parking lot. And
everybody was just probably like, eh.
Yeah, and that's what the guy, like, I stopped and I'm looking and I'm seeing gunshots in the way back of the parking lot. And the guy I was helping was like, just ignore it. They're not shooting at us. And I'm just like, it's that common down here, apparently. But I was just shocked to be doing a grocery delivery and there's gunfire going there.
God.
It was a wild time. But I got so dehydrated that day. I had one water in like 14 hours, like 140 degrees, in and out of this hot truck, lifting everything. I was literally delirious and my hair was getting to a point where it was starting to get long, but wasn't fully long.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back to the sales center that day, and Mike, who I've known 12 years or something like that, he didn't even realize it was me. I'd lost so much like water weight and my hair was so disheveled and I was so dirty. Like they didn't know it was me. That's how weird I looked. And I was like not speaking correctly. Like I couldn't form sentences. I was like in bad shape. I like felt like I was passing out. So then Mike's like, well, let's go get dinner. And I hadn't eaten all day. So I'm like, let's go get dinner. And we went to Zaxby's.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to go there again. I don't remember my meal at all. But I remember ordering my meal. And, I changed it to like an Iron Maiden shirt or something. Did I ever tell you this story?
Mm-mm.
And Mike always brings this story up. And I remember it, but I don't remember it. But the lady that was checking me out was like literally checking me out as I was checking out. And she goes, man, I like the way you look. And Mike was just like, and I looked like horrible. I was sweaty, gross, Iron Maiden shirt. She goes,
girls like that though.
And
I like that.
and I guess Mike always says, I said, well, what do you like? What do you mean you like the way I look? She goes, I just like the whole aesthetic. That's what she said. I like the whole
You're
thing.
like you just climbed out
the
of
whole
line.
package. And Mike was like, man, she wants you so bad. And I wish I was more mentally focused at the time, but I wasn't. But I remember getting done with that
taken
food.
her back to the hotel.
Could have. Easily. Wouldn't be the first time. Wouldn't be the last. But I went back and I showered that night. I remember that shower feeling so good.
I bet.
And that was just one of the weirdest.
It's different to shower when you feel like you earned it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's been a
You know?
while. It's been a while. But I'll just never forget I've never been like, it was like I could picture what I wanted to say, but I couldn't say it. But
that's like me now that I'm stroking out. I'm going through menopause or something. I don't know. I'll be mid-sentence and I'll forget totally what I was talking about.
Well, that's because you're looking at me and you get so, like, hey. Anyways, getting to that long story here, this long soliloquy, is that what it's called? Something like that. Mike and I were at the street corner, and as we usually would be. No, we're at the lights down there by the sales center. Not the best place, and maybe I'll tell a story about that one of these days. Pretty dodgy area down there. And there's a lady standing on the street corner. It had to have been like 50s, maybe early 60s, something like that. And she had a big sign on the street corner. And we're sitting there by the light. She's at the median corner. We're sitting at the light waiting to turn left. She's standing right by us. And she was tweaked out of her mind, as sometimes these people are. Mm-hmm. And Mike and I just looked on in horror as she dropped trowel right there and just sprayed everywhere, all over the corner, right in front of everybody that was there. Could not believe it. I've never seen anybody do that in my life.
Poop or pee?
Yeah, poop. Yeah, I've seen you after a night of the bars go on some bushes and stuff. I've seen that before.
That's pee, though.
I know. Yeah. This lady sprayed it everywhere and could care less that everybody was around.
Oh, and nothing to wipe with either.
Nothing.
She just pulled.
Nothing. She pulled it back up.
Oh, my God.
And that is how I met your mother. Oh, I'm just kidding. Kidding. But Mike and I still talk about that story to this day.
I made my eyes water.
It was absolutely wild. That was my wildest sign experience. And I was like, this is a tough neighborhood, Mike. We shouldn't be here. For two good country boys like us, we shouldn't be here in this big old city called Kansas City.
Sometimes you just gotta go.
It was wild. But yeah, I'd never seen anybody. It was like something out of a movie, just spraying everywhere. I don't know, but and then we gave her $20, and then she wiped with it. I couldn't believe it. But
She probably wiped with her sign.
But there's more and more signs. I don't know if that tells people are trying to make a few bucks here and there, or there's more people homeless. I don't know what that leads to, but man, they're all over the place in this day and age. And I saw quite a few up in Minnesota, seeing more and more down in this area. So be careful out there is what I'm going to say. Hard times, Angie, but hard times like my voice is what it is. It's going fast. It's going. I think we're going to have to cut out a segment or two today. So, Angie, it's time for a few final thoughts. All right, Angie, it's time for a few final thoughts, and we got to finish it up. And we got a little question action this week, Angie. So, you ready to read a little question?
Oh, God.
It's a little long, but you're going to have to take it because my voice won't handle. I'll have to answer it, but you're going to have to read it there. So, we got the handy dandy iPad. Angie, who's it from and what does it say?
Win hockey.
Win hockey, like a young Patrick Waugh. Shout out to another number 33.
Hi, Kyle and Angie. Loving your channel and all that you do. Podcast is good time. Was wondering about these companies that ran a wave of figures that always have one that is impossible to find. Do you want me to keep going?
Yep.
Okay. Example, the first Raphael from Turtles and Grayskull, or like the X-Men 97 Emma Frost. Is this on purpose? Drives me nuts, and I'm sure you too. What? Oh, as a completist. I thought it's a compliment. Scratch your head.
Completionist.
No. Scratch my head. No pun intended. Love you guys. Peace.
You did an okay job reading that. We're gonna have to. We might have to do this for reading comprehension.
You know what's weird? Like a completist, or I don't think I've ever
completionist.
Completionist. I don't even think I've seen that word on paper before.
Well, now I forgot what the question was, so you close the iPad. But yes, that run figures that are impossible to find. You give the Turtles of Grayskull example with Raphael, which I wasn't aware of that one. Were you? No, you weren't aware either? That's news to me.
I got that one, guys.
Now, I do too. Plot twist, which I guess you do as well then. X-Men 97, Emma Frost, and then the one I immediately think of is a lot of these WWE main event figures lately where one or two figures are not in most of the cases. Now, the companies do this on purpose. It's obvious. They are sitting there, they're playing devil's advocate, they're putting the business hat on, and they're saying, hey, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, we know those will sell, but Kaylani Jordan, shout out to Kaylani, she's not going to sell. We're going to limit her. She's going to be in fewer cases. And that probably makes a lot of sense because, let's be honest, you're going to sell 5 Codys to every one Kaylani Jordan. It's just the way it goes. Little Jimmy, maybe doesn't know her, maybe he does, but he wants Cody Rhodes. He sees him every week on TV. So they do stuff like that. X-Men 97, Wolverine, Cable. Those are some heavy hitters people want. And then Emma Frost gets left in the lurch. Now, she's rare, so she's harder to find. But if they made her to the quantities of Cody Rhodes or Wolverine, she'd be a peg warmer. So it's trying to find that difficult balance. It is very confusing, very frustrating as a completionist. I know for a fact because I deal with it all the time. But it does make business sense because they don't want peg warmers. They don't want to have to discount. They don't want to possibly lose space on the shelf. So it's a whole business game. It does drive me absolutely crazy, but it's part of the game. It's been part of the process forever. We're seeing it more and more, though, as of late, I have noticed. So it's going to be interesting to see where that goes into 2026, but I think it makes good business sense. You can't, not all characters, not all figures are created equal. So you can't do that, right? Just like I'm not created equal out there.
Right.
Yes, and you as well.
Right.
Of course. So there it is. Hopefully Win Hockey, I answered that. But these companies know exactly what they're doing. And sometimes it's dictated by the Targets and Walmarts of the world saying, hey, we want more Cody, less of this Ember Moon or whoever it may be. So we see that from time to time as well. But there it is. That is the question of the week. And if you want to be the question of the week, reach out to us and Angie will read it. Of course, she'll try. The Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com. Send your question of the week over there or put it in the comments of the YouTube video. But it is an audio podcast. And some people say I got a face for radio. Some people say you got a face and a body for TV. You hear both sides of the coin like a young kiss, 2 sides of the coin. You know how it goes. But a lot going on. But if you want to be the question of the week, put it in the comments. Send us an email there. But that's it, Angie. You got anything else? You know, Patreon, that's the place to get it if you want early access to all the videos here. We're nearing the end of the year. We got a lot of stuff going on, including the Buffalo Wild Wings sub-series. Angie and I trying a new flavor each and every single week. Angie, we got to do 2 next week because we skipped this week. So check out those reviews as we're diving through every single sauce over there as I won wings free for a year. That's quite the time. You having a lot of fun with that?
I'm scared getting the bottom of that list.
I love the bottom myself.
Spicy.
It's going to be spicy. The last one was pretty spicy. That vampire garlic, that one's up on Patreon right now. Check it out. Support the channel. $2 a month. You can get a Buffalo Wild Wings review. That's worth it right there every single week. Oh my gosh, what more could you want? What more could you want? But Angie, what did we learn here today? This is where I put you on the spot and test your memory to see if you paid attention. And now the notes are all covered up, so Angie's never going to know what we learned.
That I need to practice my using the word completionist.
I guess so. There's one thing you learned.
We like the cookie butter.
Love the cookie butter. She doesn't remember.
Diarrhea.
Oh, you got it?
No.
Oh.
Your lady pooping her pants.
Yep. Boy, go back early. What did we talk?
I already forgot.
She already forgot. You were riveted. She spaced out the whole episode. We learned that I'm losing my voice rapidly. I hope I can gain my voice back because I have a long day of filming YouTube videos tomorrow. I'm going to try to knock out 10 videos tomorrow. We'll see if I can do it. But now with this voice,
nope.
I'm going to have to be quiet. So there's not going to be any story time with Kyle on the couch here tonight.
No.
I won't be able to just chat your ear off all night.
You're just going to have to be on voice rest or whatever.
Voice rest.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to do all the talking.
Okay.
With that pretty mouth of yours.
You?
You've got a pretty mouth. What can I say? What can I say? But do you remember what else we talked about here today, Angie?
I'm blanking on the beginning.
Oh my gosh. It was just like an hour ago, less than.
I need a hint.
Well, we talked about a Winter Wonderland. We talked about Lemmy getting locked outside. We talked about Toys R Us.
You got a good memory.
I guess so. Something like that. Well, as usual, Angie, that's it. That's episode 33. Join us next week for episode 34. Angie, tell everybody goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?